Tim, tell me all the amazing people that you worked for. There's such a long list, guys, by the way.
I've been very fortunate to work with tons of people. One of my favorites, Jennifer Lopez. That tour was incredible. She was incredible.
I would give anything to watch you like just perform with her. That's like so
that was
inspiring
one
for
of
me.
the best experiences. Plus I got to dance with my friends. There were 5 of us. There were 6 of us total.
Yeah.
We were all friends.
Yeah.
So it was me, like Chris Judd, Brian Anthony, Georgia Bella, Gustavo, and Jason Wybar, right? And we toured all of Europe, which was awesome because we were stationed in London and we did shows. But during those shows, it's like Kylie Minogue, it was Jamiroquai, Elton John. We were in the room, we were in the building with Mariah, but they separated the 2 divas because they're divas. I was like, look, I work for this diva, I'm good. My diva was awesome, so it was all good. But then outside of that, Usher, did a few shows with Usher, which is great. Crazy. Award shows with Usher. TLC at the time, Brandy, Boyz II Men, Queen Latifah, good Lord, Taylor Dane, Anastasia, and then in country, I've been in the room. I staged a whole tour for Jodee Messina.
Yes.
And then
you guys are still close to this.
Yeah, I'm still close with Messina, and so funny because I'm going to see Aldine next week.
Yeah.
And Aldine, because my friend Sean is the road manager, but he used to be the merch guy for Jodee.
Where are you going to? What is happening? What? Right. I didn't even know. That's crazy.
Yeah, so for my birthday next week, they're in town at 5 Points in Irvine.
Gosh.
And
happy early birthday.
Thank you. So then they're like, you should come.
Yeah.
We're getting you tickets. So I'm dragging Tyson with me too. So we're going to Aldine next Friday.
That's so fun.
Yeah, and it's funny because I've been on Aldine's bus. We've hung out with the band and drank beers and stuff before. But it's because I've been in that country world. Like when I was choreographing for Jodee Messina.
You know everybody.
Then it was like, so before Jodee, what happened was there was a guy named Shane Miner who was a singer. He used to open for Shania Twain. I was asked to choreograph his video as almost like a favor. It was like a $400 job. I said, I'll just do it for the footage because I was promoting myself as a choreographer.
Yeah.
Well, that video, that director who directed that video also had directed Garth Brooks. And Garth had just won an award for his video, and he was the director.
Yeah.
So as I'm sitting on the set, and they're loving what I'm doing, he leans over and goes, this is going to be good for you. And I was like, oh, really? He's like, nah, it's going to be good for you. Because Shane was already on the phone, like, oh, you got to be my choreographer, Tim Stevenson.
So cool.
So then Curb Records and Mercury Records in Nashville called me, and were like, we want you to work with this other guy named Ty Herndon. So they flew me to Dallas. And I went to Dallas, and there's another guy, a tall country guy, did his video.
And this is the first time you've ever like dipped into the country
world. Country world, yeah. And I had told, most of it I had kind of willed.
Yeah.
Because I told myself, yeah, I'm a hip hop guy at the time.
Yeah.
Who could do some jazz. There's so many hip hop guys and girls in this business already. Now, I was doing jobs because I was fortunate enough to work with people or assist them. And that's how I worked. Like Jamie King was like, let me do some steps with Carmen. And then I ended up doing some steps with Jennifer Lopez because of Chris and Eddie, right? But then country was like, okay, let's go to country because there's nobody there.
Yeah.
There was one other guy who choreographed, I think it was like Winona or somebody like that. But, it was Reba McEntire, right? And I said, okay, let me figure this out. And then it just fell in my lap.
Yeah.
That one job opened
got
up
you
the floodgates.
everything else, because they see you probably on set. And
what happened was, with Jodee, it was interesting. The first time I met Jodee, they flew me to Nashville. We were at this place called DC Dance Factory, which, by the way, was where Nick Bass came from, who was on tour with Justin Timberlake.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So I used to hire Nick for Jodee.
This
is before he moved to LA.
Yeah.
And I think it was his uncle or something, owned the studio.
Gotcha.
Right?
DC.
So DC Dance Factory.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so I was flown to Nashville, was at DC Dance Factory. Me and Jodee meet for the first time. So
how was that?
It was cool. She's very kind of like tomboyish, just cool girl, you know, like no frills, just like curses and says whatever the fuck she wants.
As she should.
As she should. So me and her get in the studio, and her manager is in there. Her manager leaves to go do whatever she's got to do. She comes back. Me and Jodee like running around the room like playing airplane and doing weird shit.
She's like, how did you get her to do this?
So she comes back and she gets on the phone and she's calling like the execs at Curb Records and they're asking her, how's it going? She was like, you're not gonna fucking believe this. And they're like, what? They're like, she's like, they're like best friends already. They're like running around the room, playing airplane and talking shit and doing whatever. So we hit it off the bat, right? So she asked me that day, she played some other music for me, right? And she goes, what song do you like better, this one or this one? So I'm there because she had a song called Closer.
Gotcha.
So we were going to shoot that video. So I hired Nick and his uncle, so I had 2 guys in the video. And I was in the video with Jodee, but I was like in the wardrobe room with her. So you see me in the video, but I'm not dancing. I'm just more like playing around with her and rehearsing with her. So I said, well, she had another song called That's the Way. But she wrote That's the Way. Closer was written by somebody else.
Somebody else, yeah.
So she says, which one do you like better? And I says, I like That's the Way better. And she goes, why? And I go, because you wrote it. And your heart is in it because it's you. She's like, oh, okay, cool. So we shoot Closer, and then 2 weeks later, I get a phone call. We're going to shoot That's the Way.
And we want you.
And we want you, and you need to cast dancers. So I casted 6 dancers in Nashville. And she wanted me to dance in the video.